London is one of the most amazing cities in the world. Living in Amsterdam, I've had the privilege of visiting the city many times and making plenty of mistakes.
See, Westminster Abbey is looking so epic. Look at that, with the British flag and everything. Wow, this is like the biggest fail ever since Tower Bridge today. This is not Westminster Abbey, this is the Parliament.
When going to London for the first time, it can be quite overwhelming. I actually hated London the first time when I visited because I really didn't know my way around the city and made too many mistakes. In order to prevent that on your trip, I'm sharing the biggest London travel mistakes with you in this video. This way you're prepared and ready to have the best London trip ever. To see more of my videos in the future, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. You can also find more of my videos on foreigner travel in India, linked below. I definitely didn't fall in love with London the first time I went there, but the second time I went there, it was like instant love and I just kept coming back to the city. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a bonus for you today. So let's start out with the mistake that my parents and my brother just recently made when they were in London together. They took a hop-on, hop-off bus, sat on the roof, which was open, and got wet because it rains a lot in London. Let me tell you a way cooler alternative, a way cheaper alternative, and one that will keep you dry even though you're sitting in a double-decker. Take a local bus. Bus 11 and bus 23 got onto the bus. So this is bus 11 towards Victoria Station. And I thought, you know what? Let's just take the touristy route. I'll see if I can get the Primark after that. And we got like the best seats. Seriously, this is so cool. Getting onto a double-decker bus. Obviously, London is a city where a lot of people have to commute. The metro, the tube, is really good, but there are also a lot of local buses, which are the red double-deckers, the classic, iconic red London double-deckers. And you just have to take one, if only for the Harry Potter experience. They don't drive like the Harry Potter bus, but it is definitely such a fun experience sitting in the front of the first floor actually, and driving through London, seeing all the sights for a lot cheaper than a hop-on, hop-off bus. There are two lines which go through the center. Let me give you those. I think it's 11. Okay, I'll put this link down in the description below so you can actually also read this for yourself. The Route 24, the bus, Pimlico to Hampstead Heath. You will pass Westminster Cathedral and Westminster Abbey, Downing Street, Trafalgar Square, which is super fun. And then we have Route 11, Fulham to Liverpool Street. Yeah, take the public bus. How much is it? I saw something with like £1.50 or something, which is definitely cheaper than a hop-on, hop-off bus. I did that and it was super fun. So when my parents and my brother told me that they took the hop-on, hop-off bus, and it was really not a fun experience because London is cold and then it rains, it's not fun. So yeah, try this alternative instead of making that mistake. The second mistake a lot of people make obviously has to do with the amount and diversity of the food that London has to offer. But honestly, if you haven't had Indian food in London, you are completely missing out. London is the only place in the world where I would recommend people to actually go for Indian food. I'm super picky about my Indian food, especially now being based in India. 9 out of 10 times I will refuse to eat Indian food outside of India because it just doesn't come nowhere close to the authentic flavors. But in London, there are so many good Indian restaurants. They're not always expensive. The authentic ones are usually run by Indian families and it's just the best. I'll see if I can link a restaurant for you down in the description below. But I've been to a couple, actually every time when I went to a different Indian restaurant and they were all pretty good. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a bonus thing, like, well, actually a 3-in-1 because I, in the beginning, totally missed out on the food in the pubs. It is actually pretty good food. So the last time when I was in London, actually for YouTube, with my fellow ex-YouTube ambassador George and my friend Sakshi, we went to a pub for the first time and it was so much fun, like having that whole pub experience in London, but also the food was actually really good. And another food that I actually missed out on a couple of visits is A real English scone. Oh my gosh, I miss them so much here in India. I don't know. Actually, not in India. I just don't know where to find a good scone in Bangalore. And I don't have an oven because ovens here in Indian kitchens are not super common. So I don't have one and I can't bake them. If anybody knows a good place where I can get a scone in Bangalore, please let me know down in the comments below. Help a girl out. I'm helping you out, so help me out with the scones. But really, or even better, go for an English high tea. I have even never done that in London. I just went for scones and cakes and those kind of things, but never like a full, English high tea. Oh my gosh, you have to do that. The third one is not that common, especially if you don't know somebody who lives in London, because I actually got this tip from a local. Go for a sunset at Primrose Hill. Yes, it is not a common sight. Not a lot of people know how to get there, but it turned out that it was actually not that far away from that Beatles crossing point where all the tourists go to take that picture and like hold up the traffic and everything. Yeah, George and Sakshi and me did that too. That was so much fun. But you can actually walk to Primrose Hill from there. I think it is like at least a 30-minute, 45-minute walk. The view over London is really, really totally worth it. You should definitely do that. So I'm giving you an insider tip that a lot of people don't know. The fourth one, and this is going to sound extremely cheesy and touristy, which is why I think a lot of people miss out on it. Go to M&M World. Yes, I know, it might sound like weird. You might be thinking it's just for kids and not for adults. No, my friends, we all love M&Ms, right? It's like, it doesn't matter if you're blue or yellow or red, we all love M&Ms. So go to M&M World. They have so many toys with M&Ms, but they also have a rainbow, well, actually a wall full of tubes filled with M&Ms in all the colors of the rainbow, and you can get your own custom like M&M pack. It is so much fun. You really shouldn't think it's just for kids. It's just as fun for adults as well. And of course, if you have a family, you have to go there. Your kids will go nuts. The fifth one, the mistake that I keep making over and over and over again when I go to London, not going for a musical. London has some of the best musicals in the world. I think it's like London and New York that top the international quality when it comes down to musicals. The problem why I never actually got to go is because you need to buy tickets way in advance. I didn't really know how to do that, and also my trips to London were usually last minute. But then you do have an option to buy a last minute ticket, and then those tickets will be super expensive. I'm not talking about like, oh, it's a little bit expensive. No, £100 expensive, which is really expensive for a musical ticket. But at the same time, I do feel it's worth it. The reason why I never did get it is because London is so big and there are so many things to do that I always thought like, there are these 10 other things that I also want to do, and I always chose those other things. But yeah, that is a mistake that I keep making over and over again. A musical in London is definitely on my bucket list. So if I can, prevent you from making that mistake, please buy your tickets way in advance and go to a musical in London. Number 6, I just said London is huge. I love to walk, and this is the mistake that I made. You really shouldn't be walking in London. There's no way you're gonna see as many sights as you possibly can by walking in London. I remember the first time when I went, I was staying in a hotel and it looked like it was a 20-minute walk to Piccadilly Circus. Yeah, no. It was like an hour walk or something. If you're not used to London distances, my friend, do not underestimate the map. The site that you want to visit is probably a lot further than you think. And I've made this mistake a couple of times until I gave up and I was like, London Tube, yes, awesome. We're going to use the tube for everything. If you're used to London distances, you probably already know this. But yeah, no. Don't try to walk in London. It's just too far. Everything is too far. Like even just walking that part from the London Bridge to the Big Ben, which is an awesome walk to make next to the river. It's quite far. I love walking, but it is quite far. Oh, you might rent a bike. That is really awesome. I did that with my brother. Biking through London is really, really cool. Just don't bike at Piccadilly Circus because look at me, what I'm doing. Like, don't do that. It's really dumb.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to see that bus behind me. No. Oh no, God. Okay, I'm gonna turn this camera off right now. We're just gonna continue walking because I got a little bit too frightened. So I think this is a safer option.
Don't do that. Go biking somewhere around Buckingham Palace, around Hyde Park. That is so cool to do. Oh, I guess that was another 2-in-1 experience. Let's go for the 7, the bonus. There are some really cool neighborhoods in London. You don't know how cool they are until you actually go there for the first time. Camden Town, I missed out on my first visit to London. Brick Lane, I missed out on my first visit to London. Shoreditch, on my first visit, I went there, but way too late. I think I only had an hour there before my flight was leaving, and it was not enough. Shoreditch is such a cool area.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap! Get it, dude! Get it! Get it! Ah!
So if you are going to London, don't be that, you know, stubborn person like me thinking that, oh, it's probably going to be overrated, whatever. No. Make sure to put these neighborhoods, so Shoreditch, Brick Lane, actually Brick Lane is like a small area, and Camden Town on your list.
One of the best things about Camden Town is the food. Like, you have so much variety. Look, Mexican grill over here, and I see Moroccan, I see Chinese food, I see, Indian food. Could it be? Yep, that's right, poffertjes.
I really think they have that extremely rebellious spirit that London is famous for. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to put a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon to get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!